Sorry for everybody with glasses, because, you know, masks, steamed up, you'll all be alright. But thank you for making it. You know, this bit wouldn't be possible without all of you, and thank you for coming.
We started writing over 18 months ago, so it is a bit of 10 minutes, but we hope you like it.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward if you don't.
But just to kind of show the scale, not everyone who worked on it was here, but everyone who played any part in getting it made, you able to raise your hand?
That's pretty much.
We're not calling upon anyone like to come out, but it's just to show the kind of scale of. There's a lot more.
Oh, yeah. There we go. They've all rolled in.
So I think before we see the main feature, I think we've got a 3-minute teaser for the next project involving with the Rocking Horse Media producing, along with several of us who worked here before we then just go straight into the film. So we'll be back here afterwards for the short Q&A. We'll be with Simon as well. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, so from the beginning, right till now, can you put into words how much hard work went into making that, what we just saw?
To me.
To you? We're gonna,
Me. How much hard work went into that?
Yeah.
This even switched on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, it's recording.
Oh,
you
my
were
bad.
filming.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so a lot of hard work went into this. So when we started writing back in July, was it, last year?
Yeah, around June, July last year. That point when everyone was writing because it was lockdown.
Yeah, we didn't expect it to go as big as it did. We just wanted it to be like a small project between friends. And then, you know, once we started getting some like contacts,
The avalanche down
yeah,
there.
it sort of went, and we were like, well, it would be weird if this bit's really done and then the rest is like just small with friends. So we had to upscale everything, and then doing all of that, having to do press and making connections and stuff, we really didn't expect it to be that big.
Were there times where you sat down and thought, what have we done?
Yeah, obviously.
Put it back in the box.
It's all, when it started with Ewen Macintosh, who you saw playing the customer in the first scene in the shop, where I did a podcast with him a while ago, and I just thought, I've written this script, might as well ask him. Unfortunately, he really wanted to be here today, and he can't make it because of some filming commitments. But he was the first person who we approached, and then did not expect him to say yes. And then not only that, he helped us. He put some of his own money into it. He helped us find people to support it and get the crowdfund started. That's where you may notice he got credited an exec producer as well. It's his first time getting an exec producer credit. So, as a massive fan of The Office, it's really cool to think we gave him a new experience as well. Yeah. But yeah, it started with Ewan, and then very shortly after we approached Simon, and it all blew up after that. I still find it very surreal to be stood up against Dorian from Doctor Who now, and I've spent days working with you.
And you know, the crowdfunder, you know, there are dozens of people that start crowdfunders every single day and they don't go anywhere. You put a crowdfunder together and it just exploded. I mean, there's probably people in the room here, there most definitely are people here that contributed. Thank you guys. What does that feel like?
Pressure until having it done is nice, and we didn't get any booze, which is good. But it suddenly felt like, hang on, this has got to be good now. And we got to make it. We can't just decide a week before, and I'm tired, don't want to do it now. Not that we would, but we couldn't, and that's quite scary.
Yeah, we couldn't go back.
And pass the mic back to Alex. I've got to ask you. I'm going to ask you both, right?
Okay.
So you both young, working in film,
Yep.
And your education starts now. Well, it started from the moment you started studying for this. As an education, what was this like for you guys?
I mean, what I joked. I remember we both joked, but like the idea of we were like the least experienced people on our own set. There were so many people who knew what they were doing, and at certain points I thought, do they need a director? They could probably carry on without us.
Yeah.
And it was, but enough from that, and kind of everyone. There's also a big fear when working with people who know what they're doing that they would want to take control of it all. But it was very much a, do you think we should do it this way, or do you want to? It was all so much more casual and lovely and friendly that like it's so much better than we could have expected, and the contacts we picked up is, you know, worth so much more than an actual course in film, I think. Yeah, if I flip something,
I don't think you flipped anything. Yeah, I agree that getting stuck in to it was the most educational part about it, because things that you'd think would just run smoothly, that you don't see when you're just watching the film, you know, they don't always go as smooth as you want them to.
Oh, come on. What is it?
I saw this and I thought of you.
Is it in shot?
I was in shot.
Yeah.
Cut.
Yeah, we did just see it slightly then.
Oh, did you?
Come on. What is it?
I saw this.
Yeah.
I saw this and I thought of you.
Cut.
Oh, I saw this and I thought of you.
Cut.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it in?
Yeah.
And like getting people food, transport, getting people just looking ready, it's more than just, you know, get the clothes on. You know, you got to take them to the salon, you got to drive them back and forth, and all of that takes loads of time.
Yeah, we had a costume designer.
We had, yeah.
I didn't expect anything from that, and then I also didn't know. Admittedly, she said, you know, about being on set, and I thought, isn't the job done? No, the job was not done.
Yeah,
there was so much, you know, costume continuity and the likes, or like Dawn, who played Barbara, you know, she had those beads, and suddenly it's like, oh, it's a bit too loud. Oh, we've got the costume tape. All these things which we wouldn't have thought of, that like would so easily have messed up the audio. And from personal experience, bad audio is so much worse than bad video.
As a podcaster, I have to agree.
Yeah.
Simon, yeah, well, I'd love to speak to Simon. So, working with these young directors, how is it as an experience for you, Simon? Mr. Simon Fisher-Becker.
Yes, it's. I've always said that young talent needs to be nurtured and encouraged, and this evening is a perfect example and reason why I say that. You know, you're young, you're starting out. This is an early project for you, but you clearly show in this that you have some sort of experience already, and you're only 17. Bastards.
Love it.
Yeah, and I was chuffed to be asked. Being in the front row here, of course, I did realise how huge I am. So I didn't realise. Yes, but you gave me something to do. I met new people. I've met younger people and wishing them luck on their way. I've even met other people who've seen clips online who've said, why didn't you tell them about me? Right, so which means they liked what they saw, and so they would be very happy to work with you, which that needs to be applauded too. Yeah. So, and you gave me something to do during lockdown. Thank you very much.
Yeah, great. And I've got to give a shout out to the guys from Rocking Horse as well, because there's some sort of like amazing sort of marriage happening across Shropshire, where these great creators, directors, actors, film crew, all coming together, and they're making these amazing projects. It's you can't help but think something special is happening here. I mean, you know, you've worked with Gareth and the guys from Rocking Horse and Luke as well. After this, have you got any?
Oh, yes, I now feel that there's going to be a long-term relationship of some sort, and I'm very happy to invest in whatever might be coming along in the future. After all, you are my employer of tomorrow. That's the way to look at it, you see, because
you need to come down here, sir. You do. Yes, you do. Come on. Give him a round of applause, everybody. Round of applause, guys. So we'll pass the mic on to Gareth, the guy behind the camera. I know,
yeah.
You've heard him on the
Downhill
podcast
from
before.
here.
Here's Gareth. Working on this project. It was a big project. Lots of moving parts. What was it like for you guys?
It was great. I've said this to Luke before, that because of lockdown and personal circumstances, Rockingham took a couple of years out when not a lot was going on. Tonight, for instance, I've been able to reconnect with some actors that I used to work with, haven't worked for a long time. We're getting that back up and running. But if it wasn't for Reduced to Clear, this short comedy film, 9-10 minutes long, without that, none of it would be possible probably. So it is it's a huge passion project. I know we came with all our cameras and stuff, and but we've made so many contacts. I mean, NASA, it doesn't have a name anymore. She's just NASA. Long names, who's here? Helen, we've worked with. So many people have become, obviously Simon being the most obvious one. So many people we've got to know as colleagues and as friends. And without what happened in the summer, all the stuff we're working on now probably wouldn't exist. So thank you guys, because without you, I don't know where we'd be now. So it's all right.
And I think one of the questions we all are wondering is there going to be another Reduced to Clear? Have you got plans to make another?
We've joked it. I don't think it's serious.
We've joked it, but we don't think that could happen. But who knows? 5-10 years down the road, we could go.
I think one thing I've potentially said, which I think would come through in other projects anyway, is that the cast and crew we've gathered is amazing, and I think that were we to do anything, it'd be kind of like what Fierce Creatures was to A Fish Called Wanda. The idea of using the same cast and crew, having them play different characters. Maybe, Ed, who was the lead here, might be a side character with a couple of lines, and we allow Simon or Winter to take the front, or Josh. And I think that would be sort of the best way to move forward, keep that style of comedy and do something else. But it all depends on people spreading the word and hoping that this film does well in festivals. And
Alex, do you want to add on to that?
No, I just thought he was handing it over. Because it came quite close to my hand, so I was like,
Well, does anybody have any questions you want to ask? Anybody in the audience? Yes?
Thank goodness for that.
When's the next one going to be made?
Like the next project?
Yep.
Or just the next? This one's fancy. Yeah, so for each of us, it's different, because I think, you two have got one in the making.
Which you have been invited to be involved
I have
in,
been
I feel we
invited.
should say.
Yeah. I'll most likely be, involved in some way or shape. But
What's that then? What's that called?
You do it.
Oh, what you never asked.
You've earned it.
So we're making a care home drama, and basically, especially since lockdown and all the coronavirus and everything else, there's obviously a big spotlight on care homes and how poorly they've been treated, and we want to sort of tell a few stories about how care homes should be, and then how nowadays it's more about the money, it's more about balancing the books than it is about the people you're meant to care for. So Luke's been a big part of that. Alex was invited, but apparently he's a bit busy. But we'll see. We'll see. See if we can sign him up. But yeah. So a lot of the Reduced to Clear guys, NASA's involved with that. Long Names is involved with that. Sorry, I should call you actual names, but I can't actually remember them at this point. But it's said with love. It's said with love. Also at the back we've got Christy, who is a big part of Rocking Horse, and there's going to be plans to involve a lot of those people within that project. But it's a long-term one. We're doing a feature-length pilot to start with, which we'll shoot in the summer, aiming for a Christmas release. And if that goes well, then hopefully we can take that on. So yeah, so no pressure. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. But what are you guys doing?
Right. So as at the moment, after this, I'm guessing it's going to be just like a short-ish break. We've got an idea for what our next project.
It's the loosest of an idea.
It is so
it's
loose.
a title and a concept that we probably won't say.
Yeah, we won't say that.
It's
time too.
If Richard Curtis would allow that, I don't think Alex would do it, but but it's essentially what it would be is probably a smaller scale to that, and then we'll be preparing for something bigger and grander.
Yeah. To bridge the gap.
Yeah, it's very much a 2 cast members and like one location kind of thing with a few extras. Yeah, so smaller scale, hopefully it's funny. Hopefully
we said smaller scale about this though, didn't
we? We did, didn't we? We first wrote this. We first wrote this and we said, we'll just get a couple of friends and family to be in it. We don't need proper actors. We'll manage it. We'll just do it for fun. And then what happened? So goodness knows, really. It's just it's.
Question?
Yeah.
I'm willing to be an extra as well.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. There we go.
We started.
More questions you want to ask?
Yeah, I've got one.
You got one? Sorry.
It's actually aimed at Simon because Luke made the comment that they were two very inexperienced directors, and he felt that the whole thing could have gone along quite nicely without them. I wondered, with the experience that you have, Simon, over years of working in environments like this, what you felt about the direction they gave, and did you think they were any good?
At first they were very nervous. I don't know, I have this effect on people. But once I helped them relax and things, they were quite free to say what they wanted. And fortunately, for an actor, you just need short, clear, concise statements. You don't need waffle that ends with the phrase, "you know what I mean." And of course, you come away not knowing at all what they mean. Yeah, so they were very good at saying what they wanted. The script was very good and short and concise as well, so that helped. And it was a relaxed and good time. So I don't recall. Did I make any suggestions to you? I don't recall.
I'm not sure. I can't think of it. I was honestly thinking the other day, can I remember any directions I gave either? And that was why I made that.
No, I mean the directions you gave me, which were very good, is reminding me where in the arc of the story we are, because for those who don't know, filming can sometimes be out of sequence, and many a time I'm been dead on my first day, so so that's so no, you were very good, and we just sort of kept eye contact really. But there was at one point I felt whatever I did you liked it, which I really needed you to say, well actually we didn't really need that. No, but my ego especially did enjoy it. So and seeing that sequence with about don't feed the dog shrimp, I completely forgot we filmed that. So seeing it there.
Not now, Mum, I'm thinking.
The customer is always right. When you are stuck, consult to the robot. The customer is always consult to the robot. The customer is always right. Feed shrimp to the dog. Don't feed shrimp to the dog. The customer is always.
Shit, the dog.
Yeah. Amazing.
But it was a personal, good experience, and as you say, meeting the rest of the cast, meeting some people I've never met before, and as always, you'll find this with lovies when talking, they'll mention somebody who you also know, and Carl Greenwood was a perfect example. He lodged with my agent a couple of Christmases ago when he was doing Panto.
I think he's lodging with her again now.
Well, I hope so.
He's doing Panto now. So
Yes. Well, there we go. So
There's a lady at the back there.
I can try and shout if it's easier.
She can shout.
Here you go. Boom this to get it up.
So I was just wondering, obviously you've worked on other projects in the past. What's something that you brought from that maybe didn't go quite as well in other projects, or that you learned from, obviously you're still studying, that you brought into this one and you noticed like worked this time round compared to the past? Or some variation on that question.
Well, as Helen, you and Alex over there, who I worked on Unstable with, would be very aware of, sound was a big issue on during the filming of that. We didn't have any proper microphones. It decided to pour down with rain midway through a scene. So the first thing there was like, let's sort the sound out. And I actually, thanks to the Wellington Orbit, a couple of years ago, came to the screening of a film called The Last Witness, where the sound guy happened to be present, along with the director, who I've also remained in contact with. But the sound guy, Billy Bannister, which is a fantastic name, turned up, turned there, and I was like, I just finished making Unstable, and I was like, right, a sound guy, that's what I need. So I kept his details. Thankfully, he agreed. He came and did sound for this, along with NASA, or Amy as his assistant, who's over there, and you actually had to take over sound for the last day, being the most stressful sound day, but nothing stood out as being different. So all amazing job on the sound, I think. We had 8 audio tracks to work with. I was used to one. Yeah. 8 tracks on individual mics on everyone and all the booms. It made it a so much easier.
Yeah.
I think it's worth saying Billy's not here tonight, but Nasser would agree with me that this project would not be what it is without him. He put an awful lot into it, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know,
I think one of the other things is I was very used to, on smaller scale stuff, knowing what everyone's job was in order to the case that, like, if suddenly someone wasn't able to do what they were doing, I'd know what to do. Billy turns up with this £20,000 sound equipment and all these things that I can't even describe, and it made me realise, I hope you know what you're doing, because I don't. And he did.
He's very good, and he also hugged me on the last day, which means a lot.
I hugged you like 2 weeks ago.
You did. Do it again.
Was it forgotten, or was he forgotten? Was there anybody else with a question? Anybody else? Over here? I think this will stretch.
What would you advise to people who may be looking to get into the film industry? Because you've said that you've gained more from actually doing the work and putting the work experience into actually possibly being in college. So what would you advise on the education side?
If you don't ask, you don't get.
Just
So I've got to say it at some point. It's always been my motto. If you ask someone, like looking up to people like Simon and, you know, wanting to work with them, the worst you're going to get is a no. So why don't ask them? Send them an email, you know, contact their agents, although to be fair, agents are probably more difficult to go through. But contact agents, contact people, see them on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and just say, look, could you offer me some advice, or could you come and be and work on this? And, you know, a no's not terrible, but you increase your chances of a yes by asking in the first place.
Yeah, and also accept anything. Like if you're, you know, if an opportunity to be a runner, to be part of a crew, just take it, whatever it is. You know, because the contacts you'll make from that will be far better than what you learn in the classroom.
Yeah. And also, if you've got like an idea, any idea, and you think that there's no way I can do that, just write it either way, because eventually it can be made, will be made. And there's not really many bad ideas. I mean, this started as a silly idea. I mean, it still really is a silly idea. But we expanded on that and we got it made. And as long as it's made, good or bad, you've made something.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's my piece.
We made a thing called Man Denominator. It's
Yeah.
terrible, but we made it and we learned.
And on that note, I've got to say, I've been working with you for a while now, since working with Alex with Unstable, and, you know, young director, barely 16, gets in touch with me, and here I am from the Shrewsbury Biscuit in Wellington, working with a director from Telford and a film crew from Oswald Street, and that's because I can see the potential here. There's something in Shrewsbury, that's Shropshire, should I say, that's happening, that's very special. You've gone from strength to strength to strength to strength. You are a star of the future. And I think we should all give you another round of applause, because this is amazing. And on that note, I think we should call it a day. Brilliant. Oh, sorry. Go on, I can stretch it. This is my wife, it's fine. Okay.
I want to say a huge thanks to Pauline, who ran the shop.
Okay.
A real one.
Who ran the shop that gave us loads and loads of props.
Well, I'd like to thank you all for attending. This is my little mini Oscar award for you people.
Ooh, I like this. Okay.
I have the golden envelope here with nominees, and the nominees are Community Help, Reduced to Clear, and Volunteers Needed. And the winners are, drumroll, Reduced to Clear. So I have some awards for you guys.
This feels really like. Should we say that we had no idea this?
Yeah, this is.
Luke.
Thank you.
Da, 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 da.
So, for the audio listeners, nice silver boxes are being handed out for these awards. One for Luke,
There's a
one for Alex.
Thank you. Well done, guys.
That's amazing. Is it?
Thank you.
That's lovely.
You've got to build that awards cabinet now.
Oh man!
I'll get mine.
So,
Oh, hold on, mine's on.
was there not one for me? No? Wow. We've made acquaintances now, maybe for next time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you.
Henry will be honoured. He's
He will.
back there.
Yeah, Henry's out there.
Thank you very much, guys, for letting me do this. But thank you for letting me be a part of this. And here's to the next thing, which is Karen.
Yes.
We'll be there for that. And thank you very much. Cheers.
Very good. Well done. Well done.